And tornado threat is intensifying out across the southern plains. We're getting live video, and this one from moments ago in Crowell, Texas, out in the southern plains. We've got some hail video from our storm tracker. You can hear it here. Yeah, bouncing off his car, and we're with you all night to safely guide you through some of the severe weather as we head through the next few hours. So we're live coverage now. We're here until at least 10 o'clock Eastern time, and we're taking a look at some of these severe storms. This is from earlier out across Crowell, Texas, from Kelly Williamson. He's in Davidson, Oklahoma right now as a severe threat continues to grow here. Severe thunderstorm watches now for parts of North Texas, West Texas, and northern Oklahoma, as well as the Oklahoma Panhandle. So welcome back. I'm meteorologist Ray Stage with our special coverage of tonight's severe storms in the southern plains. Live shot right now as our severe threat continues to intensify right through the early morning hours. We've got torcons of a 4 in 10 chance, not only for tonight, but even on in through tomorrow for points further toward the east. A pretty impressive looking storm here in terms of severe, as we're seeing a lowering wall cloud. This is what we've seen. Kelly Williamson's right on this storm, and we're continuing to see this storm warned on, but it's been mainly for large hail and strong winds. We've had winds close to 60 miles per hour. We've had some hail between about a 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch hail, even as big as even a little bit larger than that with some of these storms. But we'll continue to monitor this, as Kelly Williamson's showing us his live video right now of this severe storm out across west central parts of Oklahoma. So right now, just seeing basically a lowering wall cloud. We don't have any kind of rotation within not only the parent thunderstorm, but we don't see anything dropping down out of this thunderstorm cloud. So that's certainly good news. And we say that in terms of tornadic activity, but certainly not good news if we're not getting any severe weather. That would be the best news of all. Now, Carl Parker is going to come in now and give us the latest analysis of where the storms are and where they're going. Carl?
Hey, Ray, yeah, we're not seeing a large-scale rotation in that storm. We are seeing a big surge of wind coming forward. And sometimes when you have that, you can get little spin-ups that develop along the leading edge of that surge. And we did get a report of a funnel cloud with that storm, but there is not right now a significant tornado threat with that storm. So I want to show you the lay of the land here and where the problems are occurring. And so you've got a front that has come down into Texas, just now edging down into northern parts of Oklahoma. Some storms firing along that in northern Oklahoma as well as into Missouri. No warnings right there. Almost everything is right along the dry line there. That's the interface between warm and humid air that's coming up from the south, from the Gulf of Mexico, and warm but much drier air that is off to the west of that. And that interface there is a convergence area. We've got winds converging, coming together. That gives us some lift in the atmosphere and gets storms popping up. So let's take a look at where some of the worst of the storms are right now. We've gotten some reports of some very large hail with some of these storms. In fact, this one down into Dickens County, producing tennis ball size hail in Dickens earlier. Still a warning now for Dickens and King County. And you see that hail core. It's going to be coming right across Route 83. Looks like the north side of Guthrie there, getting hit with some large hail, possibly some half-dollar or even golf ball, maybe even tennis ball size hail. Also reported a very large hail with this storm in Cress and now near Edmondson, and moving away from Edmondson, where we did have a report of golf ball size hail. And look at the core in this thing. In fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So almost certainly we are now getting large hail in Crest. Would not be at all surprising to hear about golf ball size hail there. Very impressive core there. That storm is a beast, and that is now moving northeast. Not real quickly. I think probably on the order of about 25 miles per hour. Ping pong ball size hail is the threat, along with 60 mile per hour wind. That is Floyd, Hale, and Swisher counties. That's going until 7:30. And then another storm we've been watching for a while, which is really a multi-cell cluster, a bunch of storms sort of joining together here. Comanche, Cotton, Tillman counties under warning until 7:30, and then also now warning, a newer warning for Comanche County. Got winds surging forward with this storm, so certainly there's going to be a damaging wind threat, 60 mile per hour wind, and then you've got some pretty impressive cores as well. That's coming right up towards Route 62, so again, watch out for some large hail. We've gotten a bunch of reports of 1 inch hail along with this storm, and that is generally going to be headed towards Los Lawton. And then in the northern part of the state, this is Major and Woods counties under warning. That's going until 7:30. Movement here, obviously, to the northeast, about 30 miles per hour. And finally, we'll take you up into western parts of Missouri. That is south of I-70. And here you've got a lot less in the way of instability feeding these storms. So they're not severe right now. We may see them occasionally flare up, but most of the action is going to be from Oklahoma and southward. So we expect to see a lot more development in Oklahoma through late tonight, more development in central Texas as well. That then rolls across, settles down a little bit by tomorrow morning, but tomorrow is likely going to be a big day. The upper forcing, the main feature, is still way back here, but that's going to be coming out tomorrow. As it does so, we'll get a lot more lift in the atmosphere. The wind fields will increase. Plenty of warm and humid air coming up from the south. So a large area of potential severe weather, Ray, there across East Texas, also Arkansas and Louisiana. Torcons of 4 across that area tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. And yeah, now we're getting into that time of year, too. A lot of times when we look for these severe storms to form, we look along the dry line, and usually it's the boundary basically between dry air to the west, right, and rich tropical moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. And this is an area where we usually see the focus for severe storms. It's right along that dry line where you're getting this warm, humid air coming in from the south and off the Gulf, and then this hot, dry air coming in, and that warm, humid air gets lifted up, and it gets lifted over the top here and up into the atmosphere, and we get the clouds breaking through the cap and this warm air aloft, and you get the dry air continuing to push on up, and this is how we get thunderstorm development. And typically we get that development on the dry line because it's the perfect combination, the perfect setup for severe storms. So you've got moisture from the Gulf of Mexico in most cases coming in, and to the west you've got very dry air coming in on a westerly flow. Thus, we've got the dry line, and this is how we show it. So, all right, let's go now into Loveland, Oklahoma, where we've got more live footage here from our storm tracker, Kelly Williamson, continuing to show now what we've got in terms of video here of some impressive storms, and they're rolling on through Oklahoma right now, and they seem to be the storms that are producing the most in terms of severe weather and hail and strong winds. As you can see here, nothing really rotating on these thunderstorm cells, but certainly something to look at here as severe weather continues to track through the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma City, you could be looking at maybe some severe storms, and even on into Lawton as these storms continue to roll on off toward the north and northeast. So watching these severe cells continue to roll north, northeast as we head through the next couple of hours. And right now, this is where these storms are. Kelly Williamson is down here southwest of Lawton, and he's right on the tail end of the storm as it rolls toward the north and off toward the north and east. And this is that area that we are continuing to watch for maybe some hail and possibly even some tornadoes. But right now it's a severe thunderstorm warning. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch. Certainly nothing yet in terms of rotation, but some big hail and maybe even some heavier rainfall and a lot of dark clouds around from these cells. All right, Loveland, Oklahoma, pretty impressive cell now, continuing to roll off toward the north and northeast. Our storm tracker, Kelly Williamson, is live shooting this video now out of Loveland, and looking a little more impressive. Could be the angle that Kelly's at, but you see that shelf cloud coming out, the wall cloud, and we don't have anything in terms of rotation, so we just have severe thunderstorm warnings. I'm not trying to downplay that, but we're not getting any tornado warnings. There's a tornado watch or severe thunderstorm watch, so we don't have a tornado watch. So atmosphere not behaving like it should for tornadoes, but doesn't mean it can't happen. And you're seeing here these little kind of appendages, and they almost look like little kind of fingers coming down or tentacles, as you can see in the center of the screen. And a lot of this is scud, what we call in the business, which there's not much and nothing rotating coming down toward the ground, but just these little appendages that occasionally will stick out from the bottom of the wall cloud. A dangerous storm nonetheless. You got a little bit of a rain shaft there in the center of the picture. That's that darker gray area right here that's kind of coming down from the thunderstorm cloud and the base that's lowered down closer to the surface. But right now, just severe thunderstorm warning with large hail and strong winds. Don't have any active tornado warnings and or watches, but it's certainly something that we will continue to watch through the evening hours. And, you know, we can continue to see tornadoes, and they could be even rolling through the overnight hours and into the early morning. So we want to get you a little bit in the way way of tornado safety, and Julie Martin's going to look at why the time to plan is now.
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
They are terrifying even in broad daylight. When a tornado hits in the middle of the night, there's little time to think. Harrisburg, Illinois is a perfect example. A tornado struck in the early morning hours on February 29, 2012, killing 8.
Of course, we were sleeping, thinking, okay, we got to get up in the morning and go to work.
Alice Retzloff and her family survived thanks to her daughter. She'd stayed up all night following the radar and warnings on TV.
She came in about 4:30 and said, okay, we got to get in the basement. It's headed for us.
Remaining vigilant overnight is the best way to stay safe. You can't rely on a tornado siren to jar you from sleep. There's no national requirement for sirens, and many areas don't have them. Having a NOAA weather radio or signing up for wireless alerts, even push notifications from the Weather Channel app can help keep you safe. Being ready for this next severe system is critical, so go over your family's weather plan now. If you don't have a basement, be sure to seek shelter in a small, windowless first-floor interior room like a closet or bathroom. I'm meteorologist Julie Martin, the Weather Channel.
All right, thanks, Julie. And we're getting some reports now of severe weather. We're getting some pictures in now near Crowell, Texas, excuse me. This is from Jazz Bishop. This was from earlier this evening, about an hour or two ago. See cloud iron lightning stroke. And luckily, this person far enough away that they're not at least in any imminent danger. You want to stay at least 50+ miles away from severe thunderstorms. But we're continuing to see more pictures coming in near Crowell, Texas, too, of, we've got some lowering clouds, some wall clouds coming down. And, they're just kind of ominous to look at. But luckily, we haven't had any damage reports yet. We're getting a lot of reports, though, of some large hail and some strong winds, maybe even to 60 miles per hour. But, right now, nothing tornadic. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch in effect and numerous severe thunderstorm warnings. But continuing to get pictures coming in near Crowell of, rain shaft here. That's not a tornado on the ground. It kind of from a distance may look like it, but heavy rainfall coming in with maybe some large hail. You could kind of see a little greenish hue on the backside of that thunderstorm, and that could be an indication of where we may actually see some hail coming in. Usually the clouds have a little tint of greenish to them. All right, we're going to get more of this coming as we go through the next couple of days or a couple of hours. We're going to get more video in and talk to our storm tracker, Kelly Williamson. He's going to be coming up, and he's out in Oklahoma right now, near Loveland, Oklahoma. Very impressive, very dark clouds currently showing up now. Nothing being reported in terms of tornadic cells, but getting some large hail reports, almost a $half size with this storm, and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Here's a live look from our storm tracker, Kelly Williamson. He is in Loveland, Oklahoma right now. This is live video coming in. Pretty ominous looking cloud there. Thunderstorm cloud, actually. That's actually moving off toward the north and northeast. We're going to go to Kelly Williamson right now, who joins us live via phone. Kelly, Ray Stajic here at the Weather Channel. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing. The pictures look pretty compelling. What do we have in terms of ground truth?
Right now, we've just got, everything's just kind of a mess. We've got one pretty good hail core coming at us right now, but these storms just can't get organized. They've really been trying to do something, but, they'll kind of get organized for a little bit, and then they just fall apart. And, something just isn't quite right here in the atmosphere to make things come together.
Yeah, that makes sense, Kelly, because we are under a severe thunderstorm watch, and we've had severe thunderstorm warnings, so we're not seeing any rotation. Now, we saw a couple of shots that you had sent in to us of maybe some scud coming down, maybe some fingers coming down, but we haven't seen any rotation, at least from the video we've seen. Being on the ground, have you seen any kind of rotation at all with these cells?
No, we've not hardly seen a rotation. Earlier today, we've seen a little bit, but since earlier today, everything's just pretty much went away.
And then what in terms of hail size? We did see some videos, some hail pounding your car there. Probably looked about pea size, maybe a little bit bigger. Are you getting anything in bigger than that? We've had reports of some $half size hail. Have you seen any of that?
No, we had some for a little while around the quarter, and we didn't have very many of them. We probably had a few hit us, but not very many. Most of them we've been getting has been in the nickel size, But we did get one bunch that, you know, the wind got up a little bit and had some pretty good hail for just a little bit, and then it just kind of went away.
Yeah, and how about your wind threat? What's your winds been maximum? We're getting reports of gusts to 60. I don't think you've seen that. Looks like you're out ahead of the main cell right now. What are you seeing in terms of winds?
We've probably had some wind gust up around 40, 45, and that's about all we've had. And that was right when we was getting the hail. I really forget what town we was in. Probably about an hour ago, some pretty nice hail come down. But since then, we've got one pretty good little hail core coming at us right now, but I've been sitting here watching it on radar, and it seems to be dissipating just a little bit as it gets closer.
Yeah, Kelly, that seems to have been the trend. And where are you heading now? You're going to try to stay ahead of this one stronger cell and, you know, wait, or are you going to try to go right into, you're certainly not going to head and core punch it, are you?
No, we're not gonna try that. We're gonna stay in front of it. We have went through a couple of them today. You know, there hadn't been much rotation in anything, so we hadn't really had to watch it very much. But we're gonna stay in front of it. You know, some of the stuff we've been hearing later on as it gets dark, they should intensify maybe a little bit. So that's kind of the plan for the rest of the evening. We're just gonna stay with them and see if they can start the build later today.
All right, and you can see here where Kelly is, we're getting some of this hail size, possibly getting up to an inch in diameter. And as we continue to go through the next couple of hours, Kelly Williamson, our storm tracker, he will be with us. So, Kelly, I want to thank you for actually giving us that latest report. We'll go back to Kelly as needed. But as you can see, this is what we're thinking in terms of some of the hail coming in. Some of the forecast hail size could actually get maybe up to an inch in diameter. And right now we've had $half size hail reports and even some quarter size hail, and that's pretty big. So certainly these storms, you're gonna have to take cover. All right, live now, Loveland, Oklahoma, our storm tracker, Kelly Williamson. He's in Davidson right now, but severe storms continue to roll north and northeast as we're starting to pick up a few more warnings, parts of north and west central Texas, Oklahoma Panhandle too. And now the latest video coming in from Kelly, pretty impressive here, as this is a live video out of Loveland, Oklahoma, seeing a little more lightning now with these thunderstorms, or this particular cell, than maybe we'd seen a little bit earlier. And off to the right of your screen, you can see the rain shaft and the wall cloud trying to lower. We do not have any rotation reported with this thunderstorm cell, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning on it. We've had reports of some winds gusting 57 to 60 miles per hour and even some large hail. $half size hail has been reported, up to 1 inch hail in some spots. So we're getting heavy rainfall. We're seeing a little more lightning in now with this cell as it continues to roll toward the north and northeast with a severe thunderstorm warning. And the severe threat continues further north and northeast too. So we'll continue to watch these storms as we head on through tonight and as we go through the early morning hours too. And this could be an event that actually runs through the overnight when you're going to sleep. So